All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to your midday Wednesday edition of Live Wire Sports Media. So, today, I guess Jensen, they had media day for the Iowa Hawkeye girls because they do play Sunday against Evansville. And the main thing that I took away from the first game was Russ, too many turnovers, could shoot better from the 3-point line, space out the paint a little bit better and everything. If y'all noticed, I was on KTTV today. Shout out to KT. And we discussed a lot of things going on with the Iowa girls and a lot of things with the women's college collegiate basketball. But Jensen, I think as each game goes on, she's going to recognize what's going to fit, what's going to be better. Now, somebody in KT's chat said today they would love to see Chit Chat, Addie Deal, and Emily Rodriguez with Hannah Stokely and Ava Hayden in the starting lineup. Now, that's a potential lineup that could be down the line. We have to see. But the play, Ava's, Addie's still struggling a little bit here and there, but I think she'll get better. Kylie and McKay and Taylor McKay, they're gonna have to do their part too. We're gonna see, because even though going against a press defense, you're gonna see more, and you're gonna see it from a lot of the top teams, especially if you can't handle it now. And I do believe you definitely need another ball handler to help out Chit Chat because she is so short. And then the thing about it is that especially if they blitz her, she can't see over. So you need somebody to be able to get into it and then get the ball back to her and let her run the offense while being blitzed or pressed. So, but Jen Jensen took to the media today to talk about some things. So let's go ahead and listen to Miss Jensen talk.
Takeaways from the season opener.
Yeah, we had a couple press breaks in, but we didn't adhere to them. Nothing quite simulates a real press until you get in the game with the lights on. You can practice it with your male practice squad or against each other. So the good thing was we didn't handle it well, but we didn't do any of the things that I think would have helped us, right? But I think, the bright spots remain the bright spots, right? The inside play, that was, solid and good to see. But I think there was no surprises. It was everything I thought when I watched it, what we weren't so great at and some of the things we were, but it was a early season game against a team like that. I've felt that way many times over the years. They just make you play a certain way you haven't been doing. And it's constant pressure and it's constant always, pushing you to a level of uncomfortability, which is good later on. But when you're going through it, it's not so good.
I noticed that the starters, before they go out for the tip, they always huddle, and I think it was Kate and then Sid would be the one that was talking over the years, and I noticed it was Kylie this time. Would you say that she's your emotional leader right now? Do you have like a clear one there, or is that something that you hope develops over?
Yeah, I would say, you're watching that unfold. You guys are, and so are we. Kylie and Strimlow are our captains, and they do a fantastic job. I think the emotional component, just like all of us in this room, some of us have the ability, to just manage when what's hitting the fan. Other people, they maybe take a step back. I think that's the one thing that we'll watch unfold. I think Kylie's doing a great job, but you talk about a Sid or a Kate or a Caitlin, right? There's just different ways that those huddles and the direction goes when you need it to go. And I think that Kylie's doing a good job trying to step outside of that comfort zone. But I think that'll be, what's the story as we watch it unfold is, who's going to be that, who's going to take the game over, who's going to get the clutch shot, who's going to, step up. And I think this team, when it's forming in its infancy, it's just so ironic, not ironic, it's just an interesting team. Because you have a lot of, have a superstar, quote unquote, in Hannah. You have quality kids and seniors, right? Jada Jemfe is doing a good job in her role. Taylor McCabe, Kylie. And then you have emergence of Ava Hayden, but she's still pretty young when it comes to all of the other things. So I think that's what's going to be interesting. And also a need to color my hair, because it's nice to know, who you're going to and when. But I think that's that the huddle in and of itself, it'll be interesting, not just the pregame, but when you got to get something done as a team when there's no coach there. Who takes over that free throw huddle? Who takes it over when, there's just been a run and not in our direction? Who can command the change? And I think that's what we'll see.
I want to say something to that because I have watched Ava Hayden do it. I have seen Chit Chat do it. And I have seen Emily Rodriguez do it. I have seen them on the floor when things are how they hype each other up. And with your seniors, I'm going to exclude Hannah out there, like the other seniors, that's what she's talking about. Because when there's runs or you're getting a groove or whatever it needs to be, everybody has to be engaged. And I think this team is trying to feel each other out, the personalities and stuff like that. And I think once they figure that out, even though they spent the off season together here and there, but their play styles have to align with each other. And it's going to take time. It's not going to be a easy success. But I think Jensen trusting this team so much because she knows what this team is capable of and could become. So I do believe this team, I think you're going to see once certain players on this team start getting really comfortable, you're going to see some of that Iowa fire start kicking out.
Out of curiosity, when you have a bunch of players that are still defining their roles, kind of like you're saying, is that a conversation that you have with Kylie in the preseason? Like, hey, we see you as somebody who could vocally step up as a leader, or is that something that you just kind of let them figure out?
Yeah, I mean, it has to kind of unfold during a season, but certainly as you're, developing captains, you're trying to start that in their freshman to sophomore years. You're looking at kids that have the ability. Leadership's a lot about outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. And you constantly have to be outside of yourself. And it's a balance because you're also pushing for minutes and roles, but you're able to see the bigger picture. And Kylie and Taylor Strimlow have done that beautifully, Kylie's whole career. So it's just like all of you, a lot of people don't like rhetoric when you go to college, right? But rhetoric is so good, it makes you get outside of yourself and push, and you have to do it, right? And that's kind of, I think, what coaches do when you see leadership potential, is you keep pushing them outside of their comfort zone. And you keep encouraging them to use their voice, to take over a practice. Because, I mean, there's nothing like a peer correcting you, right? You're kind of used to the coach, like go harder, finish stronger, whatever. So yes, you do that to a degree, but it's the unfolding during the game that I think is what just kind of transpires. I mean, you don't know. It could, all of a sudden it could be Ava Hayden if she continues to get, more and more confident that she has the ability at certain times. Hannah can at times. Hannah usually leans on her play, but I've encouraged Hannah to use her voice, because when Hannah's actions, when she gets rolling and then she commands that we need to step it up, there's a lot of power in that. So you just keep encouraging, and you're hopefully, first point guard. I look forward to when she gets a little more impressed with her. I mean,
I think it's 11 assists and 2 turnovers in 2 games.
Take a risk and go outside themselves.
We talked about Chit Chat the other night, and what you've seen from her. I mean, she's someone that's still learning the system, obviously, and there's a lot of things to learn as a point guard for a team. But I think it's 11 assists and 2 turnovers in 2 games, and hasn't taken a shot to me that feels forced.
No.
She just lets it come to her. Just how impressed are you by, as she's still learning the system to play that well right away?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with her. I mean, she's she's a consummate point guard, when it comes to really wanting to serve others, right? She's definitely a pass first point guard. I look forward to when she gets a little more confident. I think she could look to score it a little more. I've given her the green light to override most any type of set.
Wow. Wow. That right there, that's that Caitlin Clark thing. That's what Lisa Bluter did with Caitlin Clark. Now you see Jensen say, hey, she's a pass first player, but I have given her the green light to take her shots when she sees fit. Let me wind that back. That's impressive. That is impressive right there. That's confidence in your player.
More confident. I think she could look to score it a little more. I've given her the green light to override most any type of set or offense that she might see. But I think that's exciting for us is that she's just trying to do it so right now. Even like a press breaker, like I mean, if she can be a one woman press breaker and go in between their legs and do whatever, I'm all for it. But she's really trying to go from A to B to C, whatever the plan is.
Right.
And so that's a really a good situation to be in.
See, I like that. I love that by Jen Jensen. She giving Chit Chat the confidence, and she giving Chit Chat the green light to change the play. That is something that a coach in college is still in a player in college. Because Lisa Bluter did that with Caitlin Clark. And this is where, and Caitlin Clark, if Caitlin Clark could get that from her coach in Indiana, we talk a whole different Caitlin Clark. But just to hear Jen Jensen say this about Chit Chat, say, hey, I give her the green light to override any play. Then she wants her to, once she get comfortable, take your shot a little bit more. I'm telling you, once Chit Chat figures it out, this girl gonna be special, man. She's going to be special for Iowa, and she's gonna be there for a couple more years too. Oh yeah, Jen, you got your gem on your hand. You got your gem on your hand. All right, let me go in and look at listen to Lisa Stronghold and Kylie real quick. I just want to listen to them real quick. Listen to the real quick. Listen to the real quick. Hey, I'm impressed. I am really, really impressed by how she was able to do that.
Just what kind of role from that standpoint do you feel like is on your shoulders this year as you look to lead this team?
Yeah, definitely more vocal in whatever ways I can. I know that when I was younger, how important it was to have those local leaders that even if it's just like one little comment, whatever it is, it just kind of puts you in the right mindset. So doing whatever I need to in order to make the other girls feel better.
I want to hear from both of you guys on this one. Just kind of, you got a couple games now at the exhibition and then the season openers. What do you guys feel like you've done well? Maybe some things that you need to improve on going into these next couple of games?
I would say I feel like we've taken big steps already. One thing specifically, we're focusing on our gap defense from game 1 to game 2, and we made big improvements there. Free throw percentage, way better the second game. I think overall just getting more comfortable and confident each game.
Yeah, going off of that, I think literally the exact same thing. I think also we had a few too many turnovers, but with a team like Southern that's going to press and be scrappy like that, that's expected. And with a game so early on, it's good to have those types of games because we're going to face those teams later on too. So that was definitely room for improvement. And then, yeah, like she said, the gap defense got way better and free throw percentage.
Taylor, you had the cool behind your back pass. Ava didn't make basket, but is that just something that you feel, or do you know she was there and have that planned out, or is that just like instinct?
Yeah, no, she was mad at herself for that one, but I don't really care. That was kind of just instinct. I like to do those occasionally. if it comes to me.
It just happened.
Just happens.
Yeah.
Taylor, how much would you say your confidence in your voice on this team has grown since your freshman year?
It's definitely grown quite a bit since freshman year, just as far as I think I know what the expectations are and I know what's going on more. Like last year, it's kind of like Kylie said, I'm looking up to her, to Sid, to all the people that have been here before, just trying to take everything in. And now I have a little bit more of that. I'm still learning. Obviously, it's still taking a lot of advice from them, but I know more of a baseline of what's expected and can help the new girls now because they were in my position from last year.
Curious to hear from either of you guys, both of you, whoever wants to answer, just chit-chatting over the first couple of games, and since she's arrived on campus, I mean, I know she's still learning the system and things like that, but watch her on the floor, and it doesn't really look like she's, you know, out of place. She looks very comfortable running the point guard position, doesn't really force anything, lets it come to her. Just what have you guys seen from her, and what's it like having her as the point guard?
Yeah, I think one thing that I could just use, one word would be composed. I think she's always been composed every single practice. She doesn't really get frazzled. She doesn't have a lot of highs or lows. She's just always consistent. And that's what you need in that type of position. So it's been really good to have that. Vocally, like she's going to keep stepping into that vocal leadership, but she leads by example and she keeps doing what she needs to do for the team. And so definitely just a solid, composed, and consistent player that we need.
Completely agree. Yeah, Chad's been great. Like you said, very, very consistent. Great point guard. She had a great game, both games, and I think Hawkeye Nation's gonna love to keep watching her this year.
When you guys look at how Ava's improved over the offseason and then the first game that she had just completely destroys a couple career highs of her own for her first double-double, have you guys noticed that there's been a switch in her leading up to this season? What have you noticed that maybe is different and how she's gotten a lot more confident over the last couple weeks?
I would say I think she's definitely worked super hard over the summer, but also she's just gotten more opportunity this year. You know, Addie O'Grady was an amazing big last year, and she got to learn from her a lot, but also play behind her. And so I think having more opportunity this year in the 5 position to go out there and gain confidence through game experience has been really good for her.
What are you gonna? I wanted to ask both of you, so if you both can answer. Like, you're a 6th year, you're a 2nd year. What's Sydney Folter's role been like for each of you individually?
Yeah, for me personally, she's one of my best friends. So for me, we obviously came in together at the same time. And so we really went through it all. And she's just one of those people I can always lean on. And even now, it's the same. It's a little different because she's able to coach me too. But just, she's like a natural coach. So even when I was playing with her, she's still coaching me. She's just a good leader. But yeah, it's not super different, but it's also really cool to see how she's kind of flourished into the role that she's in now, just because that's just who she is. And yeah, I'm really grateful for her personally.
Agreed with Kylie. I think she's been a great tool for our team to have because she can see it from our perspective. Sorry. She can see it from our perspective and also the coach's perspective now. So I would say the same, that I've been able to get a lot of input and advice from her. And also, like, if I'm frustrated about something or I'm confused about something, I can go to Sid and ask, and she can also talk to the coaches and kind of translate for us. So I think she's been a great addition to our coaching staff.
Yeah, was she like? Taylor? Would you say she was like already starting to become more of a coach last year for you? You know.
All right, so I'm gonna just stop it there. But you got to hear from Taylor Stromlow and Kylie Forbach and Jensen. So this is my thing going into this game. Going into this game on Sunday, which is be at 3:00, I will be live streaming it. So make sure you keep your bells ringing, like Dr. Dre would say. I think this team is going to get better. This team just needs the time to gel. I know it's critical because we see some things and we like, hey, you know, some of the players ain't doing so good, but I do believe that it's going to work out. They just need a lot of more time to gel. I do want to see a little bit more added deal. I seen what I've seen from Emily. I like from her. I like what I see from Chit Chat. I love what I'm seeing for Ava. I love what I'm seeing from Hannah already. Taylor Strombo. I want to see a little bit more Taylor McCade. I do want to see Kylie get a little bit more better, especially when it's time to handle the ball. So I'm not going to be super crucial over them, but this is game 1. Game 2 is on Sunday. But once we get into the 5th, 6th game, then I probably will start critiquing just a little bit harder. All right, so let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts on what you think should happen in Sunday's game and what you would like to see from this team. Leave your comments below.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire. It's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it. So official, like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire. Sports and entertainment. Let's go.